Reformed theology is Catholic. R.C. Sproul was a very well-known pastor and theologian and also historian. And he was honest enough to point out that the Reformed theology has always been Catholic theology, unlike many other Reformers and Protestants who deny this very thing. Reformed theology is not only systematic but also Catholic, sharing much in common with other communions that are part of historic Christianity. Page 28. R.C. Sproul wrote in his book that historic Christianity was really Catholic, and so all faiths and all beliefs go back to the Roman Catholic Church. The Reformers embraced the doctrines articulated and formulated by the great ecumenical councils of church history, including the doctrines of the Trinity and of Christ's person and work formulated at the councils of Nicaea in 325 and of Chalcedon in 451. The Trinity was part of the Roman Catholic dogma. Reformed theology is Catholic, page 27. R.C. Sproul let the cat out of the bag when he wrote that many of the doctrines that the Reformers teach today are really Catholic doctrines. The Trinity stands out, and infant baptism. These are coming directly from the Roman Catholic Church and embraced by the Reformers. What is Reformed theology? Understanding the basics. This is found on the cover of the book. Sadly, many Reformed theologians do not understand the basics, or they're lying about their knowledge of said doctrine, because when asked if the Trinity is biblical, they say yes. When asked if it is Roman Catholic, they say no. You know, it's been several years since I've made videos on Philo's Trinity. This is a book that exposes the Trinity of today, the Trinity that's believed by millions. It exposes the Trinity as being a philosophical and allegorical doctrine that really is not biblical, but was formulated by a first century Jewish Greek philosopher by the name of Philo of Alexandria. From there, it was taken up in the 2nd century by the Ante-Nicene Fathers, Apostolic and Ante-Nicene Fathers. And this is all documented in my book. When I present this evidence or these facts, in videos, there has not been, in this about 8 years now, there has not been anyone who has disproved the information that I have provided. This is the truth of Philo's Trinity. No one has come forward to destroy this information. Oh, they come forward and they attack and they say things and they argue, but not about the facts presented in the book Philo's Trinity. This is the truth. I've even asked certain apologists to debate on the history or the origin of the Trinity and Philo of Alexandria, which many of them, or really all of them, have declined to do this. And so I stopped asking. They know that if they go into this type of a debate, they're going to lose. But the reason I made this video today is because one of the problems that I've encountered is that when I speak to Trinitarian apologists or historians or university professors, and I ask them about this, I ask them, do they realize that they're promoting a doctrine that came from the Roman Catholic Church? And the answer is almost always the same. These professing Christians tell me that no, it didn't come from the Roman Catholic Church. And then they resort to giving me scriptures that are used and have been used for a long time. Some of these scriptures were introduced by Philo of Alexandria with his allegorical interpretation, such as Genesis 1:26 and Genesis 18, where God appears unto Abraham with two angels. Also Proverbs 8:22, where it talks about wisdom as being with God before the foundation of everything, or the creation of everything. And they point to this wisdom as being Christ. This all came from Philo. Yet the theologians of today use it and they present it as biblical evidence. Now, the reason I made this video was to show that there are some reformers that are honest. Not many, but there are some. And R.C. Sproul, thank God, was one of those. And he wrote about it. And he is 100% right. And all other theologians, reformers, Protestants that protect the Trinity by saying it's a biblical doctrine are lying. If you go into the Roman Catholic Catechism, they admit that the Trinity was formed with philosophical notions. This is, if I believe correctly, if I remember correctly, page 79 of the Catechism. The Roman Catholic Church knows that it cannot defend the Trinity on Bible only, because they know that the words that they use were all philosophical. And to this very day, the Roman Catholic Church is philosophical. They believe in Greek philosophy very strongly, which I have videos on that too. But my appeal right now is to all those Trinitarian apologists, historians, and reformers and Protestants. My appeal to them is, please be honest. Be honest with the people that hear you. Be honest with those who are around you and those who respect you and look at you with respect and admiration. Be honest with them and tell them the truth. The Trinity and infant baptism really started with the Roman Catholic Church. And now it was embraced by the reformers, and they never got rid of these doctrines. And there's others, but my concern, because I teach that the Trinity is not a biblical doctrine, and I teach that the Trinity came from Philo of Alexandria in the 1st century. He was the one that started all of this using Bible, but he twisted the scriptures with an allegorical interpretation. So to those of you who are viewing this video, if you're honest and sincere, look at the Trinity in the light of philosophy, because that's the way it was conceived. And stop telling people that it is a biblical doctrine, thereby deceiving anyone and everyone.